Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making a sandwich, a ham and cheese sandwich, a croque monsieur. It's a sandwich that originated early in the 1900s in France, and we're going to make it here, and it's going to transport you to a Parisian bistro without even leaving your home. So let's go over here and look and see at what we need to have. So we're going to have like a small saucepan, about like that. You need some all-purpose flour, any kind of bread you want. I have sourdough garlic. You're going to need some ham, a cup and a half of sharp cheddar, and another cup and a half of mozzarella, some heavy whipping cream, 3 eggs, I know I have 1, 2 cups of milk, 1/4 cup of butter, salt, pepper, and some Swiss cheese. Now, keep in mind, you can use any kind of cheese you want. Just for this, I used sharp cheddar and mozzarella. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to take our saucepan, and our butter, what I like to do is break it down a little bit because it melts much faster. And we're going to turn it on a little bit below medium. So we're going to get that melted first. And what we're doing here is we're going to make a roux. So as soon as the butter melts, we're going to add flour and stir it. Okay, we're breaking it down and it's almost melted, which is good enough. So as this is melting, we're going to add 5 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Mix that around a little bit. 2. 3. 4. 5. Now we're going to stir this around because if you don't, it's going to burn. So keep an eye on that. Make sure all the flour is absorbed into the butter. And this is what you call a blonde roux. It's going to change color the hotter it gets and the more time it's in the pot. So keep stirring. Should only take a couple of minutes. I turned my flame down a little bit lower to close to low, because it doesn't need to be burning on high heat. Make sure you get around the edges. Okay, that looks about good. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of milk. Slowly that down. Now we're going to turn the flame down to low. Mix around the milk. Add a little bit more. Mix it around. The rest of the cup. I'm going to refill it again because it's only 1 cup. Around. Okay, our second cup has been added. Just let it mix in there. Now we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Not too much. Okay, now it's time to add our cheese. Again, you can use any type of cheese you want. I'm using mozzarella, so this is 2 cup bag, so I'm gonna put about 1.5 cups. And it's shredded already, so it'll melt faster. That's good for the mozzarella. We're going to give it a stir. Let that melt a little bit. And your sauce is getting thicker. So if you experience that, you're doing it right. Okay, now we're going to add the sharp cheddar. Same amount, about 1.5 cups for most of the bag, the 2-cup bag that I have. Now give that a stir. I'm going to turn up the flame a little bit more to make it hotter, just above low. And we're just going to let that heat up for a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to remove the egg whites from an egg. So I've already done 2, and this is what it looks like. And if you've never done this before, I will show you how to do it. I'm going to have 1 egg. So we're going to get going to crack it, and we're going to let the egg fall into your hand, just like that, and let the yolk slip out. So what I like to do is to go back and forth between my hands like this, and this will remove the whites. So you should have a perfect yolk like this, and if it breaks, it's okay. There you go, and then put it in the bowl. Now, to prepare it, we're just going to mix it around. Just get like a fork, just mix it around just like this. Adding the egg to our mornay sauce is going to make it richer, and it's going to add a little bit of color to it. So we're not going to add it just yet. I'm going to stir this around a little bit more. Still not hot enough, so I'm going to add some more heat to it. I turned it up to just above medium so the cheese can melt faster. See, when you're cooking and it doesn't come out perfectly, you can always adjust. That's what I'm doing. I want it hotter, so I turned up the flame to just below medium. Stir it around. Let that cheese melt. And I'm going to add now a little bit of heavy whipping cream. Now the cheese is melting. And add a little bit more cream. Stir that around. Now the cheese should be fully melted. If it's not, then keep this process going. Now what I'm going to do, it's already nice and thick, cheese is melted, everything's coming together. I'm going to turn off the heat, and I'm going to add the egg in there. Now we're going to move it off the hot burner because you don't want to have scrambled eggs in there. So we're just going to give it a stir. Make that rich yellow color. Beautiful. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let this cool down and solidify. It's obviously too hot to put in the refrigerator, but when it cools down a little bit, we're going to put a little bit of saran wrap over it, and we're going to let it sit in the fridge for about 2 to 3 hours to let it cool. Because right now we cannot make the sandwich. The liquid is too hot and it's too liquidy. It needs to get some. It needs to become more solidified. So, with that said, we're going to let this go ahead and cool down, and then I'm going to apply the saran wrap, and I'll show you how to do it. So, okay, we're going to go ahead and take a break right now.
That took 15 minutes.
Wow. Did you pause it?
I did.